Hey folks, hope you all are doing well. I'm Karan Bandal from Econosite, your weekly wrap on economic news from India and around the world. So let's get started with India. MUDRA loans in India at an all-time high. What is a MUDRA loan anyways? Well, MUDRA loan is offered under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana or Prime Minister's MUDRA scheme. MUDRA stands for Micro Units Development and Refinancing Agency. As the name suggests, these loans are meant for small business owners like shopkeepers, handicraftsmen, truck owners and so on. And so the loan amount that one can avail is also small, but you can get this loan without any collateral. Not having any collateral is or was one of the primary roadblocks in a budding risk-taker's path to start a business, especially in rural areas of India. Under the scheme, borrowers can get business loans in the range of $600 to $12,000. You can see the different types of loans and the loan amounts on the screen. In the fiscal year ending on March 2023, 58.8 million MUDRA loans were sanctioned and $52 billion worth of loans were issued. That means the average loan amount was just $880. A strong growth was seen both in the number of borrowers and in the total loan amount issued. The scheme was launched in 2015 with an aim to provide funding to the unfunded so that they can lead a life of dignity and prosperity. The scheme has not only continued since then but has exceeded the target every financial year except for the COVID year of 2020-21. As per the data, a total of 408 million MUDRA loans have been issued since 2015, amounting to $282 billion. Total non-performing assets in MUDRA loans stood at 3.175% as of March 2022, indicating a significantly better financial health than India's formal banking sector, where NPAs are around 5%. I don't have the data on how many unique borrowers have made use of this scheme, but let's be conservative and say the same few million borrowers are taking out a MUDRA loan every year. Then 408 million total loans issued in 8 years comes out to be roughly 51 million loans per year. So 51 million unique borrowers in total. Does that mean then the scheme has created 51 million jobs in 8 years? Assuming these are one-person businesses, of course, something to think about. Moving on to central bank, Reserve Bank of India holds benchmark rates steady. Well, it was widely expected that India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, will hike the benchmark interest rate by 25 basis points in April. Defying the expectation, the bank held the rate steady at 6.5%. Benchmark interest rate is the rate at which the central bank lends money to commercial banks like State Bank of India, ICICI and so on against the government securities, and then these commercial banks give out loans to individuals like you and me and to businesses. This rate hiking cycle began in May 2022 in response to elevated inflation. Rates have gone up 250 basis points since then. It appears that the rationale behind the pause in the rate hiking cycle is improving inflation expectations going forward. For instance, the central bank sees India's inflation at 5.2% in 2023-24. Nomura forecasts it to be closer to 5%. Both the forecasts are well below the current level of inflation at around 6.5%. Let's talk about cars. Global trends on combustion vehicle sales. Most of the cars we see around us are either petrol or diesel powered, that is, combustion engine powered. Did you know that combustion engine vehicle sales peaked globally in 2017? In that year, 86 million combustion engine vehicles were sold and the car sales have been falling since then. Electric vehicle sales started showing up on the global map only in 2013 with a market share of just 0.2%. After 2017, the numbers started to take off and electric cars began to eat into the market share of combustion engine cars. In 2022, total vehicle sales were still below the 2017 peak and stood at 79 million. The top 4 countries made up 57% of the total car sales. For the first time though, in 2022, global EV sales surpassed 10 million, claiming an all-time high market share of 13%, whereas combustion engine vehicle sales fell 20% from their 2017 peak to 69 million. China, the world's largest car market, is leading the world in this market share transition where EVs claim 26% of the total car sales. How is this trend in India? Let's take a look. In India, electric car market may not be showing significant traction just yet, but electric two-wheelers are taking off. Electric two-wheeler sales in India rose over 250% to over 800,000 units in the financial year ending in March 2023. Out of these, high-speed electric two-wheeler sales, that is, two-wheelers with the speeds of above 25 km an hour, were over 700,000. Even with this sharp growth, electric two-wheeler sales fell short by about 25% against the goal set by the Niti Aayog of India. This reveals the existing teething issues with the industry like mismanagement of government subsidies, absence of enough local manufacturing capacity for batteries, motors, and lack of clarity on medium-term support from the government to this industry that is yet to mature. So, the global mobility market is transitioning away from fossil fuel-powered vehicles. India has its work cut out to first support its electric two-wheeler industry and then move to incentivize mass adoption of EVs. India's central bank has paused its rate hiking cycle, giving some relief to borrowers for now, and government's MUDRA scheme may have succeeded in bringing a small-scale business person into the formal sector. I hope you found this week's wrap interesting. I'll speak with you again next week. Until then, take care.